In this video, we're going to talk about the properties of exponents. Some of them have special names and some of them don't. This is strictly to serve as a review, so this should not be the first time you're seeing these. Okay, the first one is called same base multiplication. The A here, that's called the base, and the R and the S are the exponents of these particular powers. So when we have the same base, A to the R times A to the S, we can combine them into one single base by adding the exponents. So it'd be A to the R plus S. The second one is called the power to a power property. So if we have one power here, R, raised to another power there, S, we can combine them into one single value by multiplying. So it would be A to the R times S. The next one is called the distributive property. It doesn't really look like the distributive property that you might be used to. This one's actually called the distributive property of exponents over multiplication, whereas the one that you might be used to is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. So in this case, what we do is we take the exponent and we distribute it to each factor within the parentheses. So this would be A to the R times B to the R. Letter D, this one's basically, I don't think it has a special name, but you can call it a reciprocal. So if we have a negative exponent, A to the negative R, that negative part of the exponent means take the reciprocal of the base. So that would be taking the reciprocal, and we would say 1 over A to the R. You'll notice this is the first one where I put a disclaimer here. A cannot be 0, because if A is 0, then we would have a 0 in the denominator, which is problematic. So sometimes they have disclaimers like that, usually when there's something in the denominator. For letter E, we again have the distributive property. So this time it's with a fraction, but it's still technically the distributive property of exponents over multiplication. And it just says that if you have an exponent out for a fraction, you would distribute it to the numerator and to the denominator. So this would be A to the R over B to the R. For same base division, so if you have division of the same base, what you can do to simplify this is subtract the exponent. So it's like the opposite of the same base multiplication. This one I do caution though, which I'll talk more about in other videos when we start simplifying, why we might actually alter this definition or property a little bit. And then the last one is anything raised to the 0 power except for 0 itself is equal to 1.